Taylor, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch. We're not live. But you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK, man. Right behind me, you see it. A little warning screen. We won't need it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to make a new warning screen today. Maybe. Not a new warning screen, but a new intro screen. That's neither here nor there. Twitch.com is where you can't catch a live stream. Usernames at the bottom of the screen. Patreon, Monday through Sunday, Premier League highlights, UK TV shows, UK movies. Obviously, we can't watch that stuff on here. Anyway, this is Bath, England. Okay. I'm interested in it. I'm trying to figure out the little nooks and crannies of the UK that people don't highlight.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners.
I'm tweaking. I'm going to edit that out. This is from Ultimate Bucket List. It's from 2 years ago. This is in England? Off the rip. Okay, let me just watch. It's muted.
Welcome to another episode of Ultimate Bucket List. And this is your complete guide to the city of Bath.
What's going on? Bro, I just watched Gladiator 2 and I could have swore Denzel walked through something like this. What's going on?
Where to eat, what to do, how to hang out in the rooftop pool, and how to have the best time of your life in one of the most historic cities.
Oh no, this is lit. Y'all know I like that ancient, historic look. This is vibey. I guarantee you some of these look like this on the outside, but on the inside it gotta be like at least one. I'm not saying it's very popular out there, but it's super modern on the inside. Like, that's my vibe. Look crazy, look nice, look like this type of architect, but on the inside, everything look up to date.
On Earth.
This is
full of ancient Roman. England is full of ancient Roman cities. Londinium, Mamucium, Eboracum. But there's one.
Why are you saying it like that?
One place that's significantly unique to the others. That place is Aquasulis, otherwise known as the modern-day city of Bath.
Have any of y'all been to Vegas? Y'all been to that one mall that looked like it got like there's like a river flowing through it and you can ride in a boat, and like if you look up there's like the sky and it looks like this. It literally looks like this city.
One of the most historic cities here in England is because of the naturally heated thermal spring that happens to be slap bang in the middle of the city. And when you step
Can you get in it?
foot into the city of Bath, the history and culture oozes immediately from its walls. It's located right on the River Avon. On a nice day like today, It's nice to just walk around and enjoy the lovely scenery along the river. It's an idyllic location in the heart of rural Somerset.
Oh, this is in Somerset.
Though this looks like a tiny village in the middle of the sticks, this is actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
The whole village?
If you've got a bit of spare time, walk along the river and the canals and just take in the breathtaking scenery.
Not gonna lie, this looks like it looked like a lot of everybody here got some money. You can't be in this town unless you got money. Like, you gotta pay to have this type of peace. That's what it feels like.
The first place I recommend that you stop off at is the City of Bath World Heritage Centre. You can learn about the city and its UNESCO World Heritage status, and there are plenty of members of staff who are willing to help you out by handing you maps and advising you to where to go.
Nah. Just pop me in the city and let me loose. I'm gonna figure it out.
Let's start by visiting the most famous attraction here in the city of Bath, and the entire reason why this city is here. This is the Roman Baths, and the building itself looks quite colossal. Once you buy your ticket, you're given an audio guide, which is very helpful in learning about the history of this place.
That's raw. In the audio guide, I feel like if that was in America, people would be trying to steal that and pawn it or something. I don't know.
So, why is this place important? The reason why is because thousands of years ago, the Romans had found that this place has naturally thermally heated water from underground. So to capitalise on that, they decided to build an entire city around it. Most of the Roman structure...
That's smart. You don't got to pay to heat up your water or waste time with like fire.
is still intact. And when you walk out onto the terrace, you can see this lovely view. It's amazing to think you walk out onto the terrace.
So this is... Even these statues, or are these statues remade? This is... I'm not going to lie. This is elegant. How far away is this from like Manchester or somewhere that got some nightlife? Because this is...
You can see this lovely view. It's amazing to think that the Romans, thousands of years ago, built this structure around this thermally heated water.
They used to get in there. This is Rome. They used to be in there naked, doing stuff, 100%.
Listen to the audio guide as it provides you some very interesting commentary. But if you're not interested in learning about the history, you can at least see the funky statues that are dotted all the way around. It makes for some good photo and video opportunities.
But okay, I know I'm pausing a lot. Why is this here? Why is this here? How did this get here? What would the Roman Empire was? Alright, I'm learning a lot of history. I got some because we used to watch a lot of history at one point on this channel, but
the best ones are on this corner here overlooking the Abbey. If you're not sure how it works, this is basically a diagram indicating what's actually happening here. And when you look outside to the sacred pool, which no one's allowed to go in,
that's pointless.
You can actually see the bubbles rising from the spring of the naturally 46 degrees Celsius heated water, which is pretty amazing.
How does that in I want to say just American, because we're the only people that use degrees.
In fact, I believe that this is the only place in the country that has it. So yeah, fairly unique by English standards. If you're a bit of a history buff, they've got plenty of exhibits and artifacts for you to have a look at whilst you're walking around the baths. And this is how it would have looked back in the day. One of the interesting things is the original temple pediment. Now this Zeus-like head, nobody actually knows what this is, but because it's so striking, it has now become the symbol of the city of Bath. It would have looked amazing back in the day. Whilst you're here actually, make sure you take the time to have a look at some of these Roman exhibits, because some of these are pretty interesting and ooh, hello there. Some of these are very, very interesting. From coins and mosaics and dead people, it's all very, very interesting. Admittedly, if you're not a history buff and you can't be bothered reading, that's what the audio guide is for.
I mean, I can read. I have my days. Some days are better than the others, but you know, generally, I can read.
It's amazing to know that all of this was built before the age of modern machinery. You'll also find people in Roman costumes who are willing to help you out on the day. There seems to be...
I ain't gonna lie, you gotta love history to be out here.
A lot of projections of half-naked women around here. I'm certainly not complaining, but I think it's for some kind of historical reenactment.
Well, you gotta remember, that was Rome. Rome was full of nudeness. Stuff that would be illegal now was flying back then. It was a lot of... I watched Game of Thrones and it just... I watch a lot of Roman stuff too, like a lot of Roman set movies. Y'all see it like I see it, but anyway.
Easily the best spot to take photos and videos is of the lower level overlooking the baths and Bath Abbey in the background. So the best place to take photos and videos is right here on the southeast corner overlooking Bath Abbey. So if you want the best photos and videos, take them to the spot. And I know what you're going to be asking me. Can I touch the water? Can I drink the water? Can I bathe in the water?
Drink? Drink? No, but It's probably too hot to even get in. 46, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to Google it.
Unfortunately, no. It's actually very much untreated. You're pretty much going to get poisoned if you touch or drink the stuff. So please, no drinking this water. Not that you would anyway, because it's kind of a rancid shade of green. But yeah, don't touch the water, guys.
I mean, but it's at a good temperature. Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
What is 46 degrees Celsius? 114 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not that hot. Never mind. Don't drink that.
Desperate to try some of the water, at the end of the tour, there's a fountain that you can actually drink the natural mineral water that happens to come from underground. What does this water taste like? Oh my god, that's disgusting! It literally tastes like rust. So yeah, if you don't like tasting rust, don't drink the water here. At the end of the
brother, you bold. I wouldn't have put my lip on there because I could see 1, 2, 3 straight off the tip. Pause. Nah, that's diabolical.
tour is the Roman Bath shop, which will sell you lots of Roman style paraphernalia and stuff. So that's good. Right next door is the other most famous attraction here in Bath. This is Bath Abbey.
Nah, that's pressure. Look at this. Who built this? Who had this type of time? Who was designing the stuff back then? They just looked at a piece of empty land and was like, this what we gonna do. Because this is still heat even until this day.
It's basically
free $5 suggested donation. So it's free.
A big giant cathedral. Even if you don't like churches, it's a nice place to hang around, especially when you've got musicians and performers performing in this square here. But if you don't mind going in, technically it is free of charge to enter. They suggest a £5 donation at the door, but you honestly don't have to pay that if you don't want to. It's actually quite nice.
Why are you looking at me? I would pay it. I was talking crazy before. After I seen them chairs in there, they need it.
It's definitely...
This is beautiful. Look at the stained glass windows. Look at the arcs. Look at the attention to detail they was paying out there.
A lot lighter than quite a lot of the cathedrals that I tend to visit. The layout is pretty much the same. You've got this bit here, the nave, where all of us commoners sit, and you've got the choir where all the monks and the priests sit. There's various offshoots of various other chapels that you can have a private prayer in if you...
I wonder what was going on in this between these walls back then. But this is Rome, though. I don't know.
Want to?
The Roman Empire was here. Anything could have been going on here.
But overall, it's actually quite a nice abbey to visit. The reason why Bath Abbey is so important is because it's the first church in the country that coronated a king. So yes, in the year 973, the first ever King of England was crowned. It is one of the nicer cathedrals that you'll visit in this country. Right, after a morning of sightseeing, it's time...
It is very nice. Is that the one they brought the Queen through?
...to eat stuff. The building right next door is the Roman Pump House. Originally, it used to be the pump house for the baths, but nowadays, it's this grand ballroom that you can have your dinner in.
What do you mean a pump house for the baths? Like where we just was? Like people actually... See, I knew people would get in them.
You'll need a reservation to eat in this place, but it's actually quite nice. You've got a live piano player playing on a Steinway, and it's a nice way to enjoy fine British dining. Along Bath High Street, you'll find lots of modern eateries, so you're definitely spoiled for choice here in the city of Bath.
The Lamb and Lion. Dining tables in a parking spot?
The main high street runs from north to south, and you won't struggle to find anything here. But whilst you're walking around, you'll notice the old architecture, some really old buildings, all made with this yellowish stone. This is famous Bath limestone, and you'll find that most of the city is constructed with this stuff.
Strong, can withstand the test of time, apparently.
And when you do walk around the city, you'll notice the historic baths, the Victorian architecture, mixed with the modern architecture, but overall, it's a very historic place. And if you like all of this old stuff, with the cobble streets, with the Greek style architecture, this place is pretty much perfect for you. This wouldn't look out of place in France, in Italy. It's one of the more picturesque cities here.
I do enjoy this, but it depends on its proximity towards some negativity. I wouldn't even say negativity. I'm one of those people who like to live near the inner city. I'm past my living in it stage, but I need to be very close. In case I need some good food, some cheap corner store vibes, or just some entertainment.
In England. There's plenty of roadside eateries and cafes for you to waste away the afternoon with, but whilst you're here in the city of Bath, you might want to try the unique food item that you won't find anywhere else in the world. This unique food item is called the Bath Bun. Only 2 places in the entire city actually do them. The first is historic Sally Lunn's.
Bath Bun? Now see, I'm finna go try to find one here in America some way, somehow. Try it on TikTok.
Located in the oldest house in the city of Bath, Sally Lunn's is the original purveyor of the Bath Bun, which is basically a very... Sally Lunn's is the original purveyor of the Bath Bun, which is basically a very sweet version of a French brioche bun, except that it's a lot lighter, it's got a lot less butter.
This is literally a Hawaiian sweet roll. This looks like a Hawaiian sweet roll. Nah, I gotta show y'all what a Hawaiian sweet roll look like. This is our dinner rolls. Y'all know how y'all have Yorkshire pudding? This is our dinner rolls. Have I finally discovered our dinner rolls out there? Called a Bath Bun? Figured I could just pull up any standard dinner roll. This is literally a dinner roll. But he said it's kind of sweet, so it would be more on the Hawaiian dinner roll side. You know what I'm saying? King's Hawaiian dinner roll energy. Okay. Salute.
And it's significantly bigger. You could try.
That was huge, though. That's the difference. That was big. This is pretty big. Pause.
Basically a very sweet...
Yeah, this is big.
And it's significantly bigger. You could try one of these right here at Sally Lunn's. You might need to book in advance, especially if you're going there for dinner. But as with all establishments, there's a rival literally around the corner. Right here is the Bath Bun Tea House. It's a traditional style tea house that serves their own version of the Bath Bun. So their version is basically a smaller version of a Sally Lunn, but they put crystallized sugar and fruit on top. If you do eat inside the Bath Bun, you'll come...
It looks like our dinner roll, but 6 times larger. But I'm pretty sure it tastes very different.
Across one of the most quaint tea houses, very traditional, very 1900s, and yes, because you're in a traditional tea house, you have to drink the tea the correct way with your pinky up. Okay, you don't actually have to do that, but, when in Rome, I guess.
Dang, let me put my hand down. I'm ashy. Put a little butter on my fingers.
So what does a Bath Bun taste like?
Here we go.
Well, wait, what's this? They actually bake a lump of sugar into the bread. Huh, that's fairly unique.
Really? Is that in all Bath Buns? Because that's nothing like a Hawaiian roll then. I figured it was something nothing like it. I'm going to go find that. I want to try one.
If I had to pick between the two, I would pick the Bath Bun over the Sally Lunn. But I know a lot of people would say the complete opposite. So it's definitely worth a try at both establishments. So once you've had your fill of really, really sweet bread, it's now time to walk towards the northern part of the city, where you'll find Queen Square with a somewhat replica Washington State Monument.
It looks like a sundial.
You'll need to walk along Gay Street. I'm not kidding. It's actually called that. Where you'll find two...
all capital. Oh, everything. Okay.
Significant structures. The circus, which is basically a circle of very colonial buildings, all decked out in this Bath limestone.
That's cool.
And whilst it's very nice to look at and take photos of, I definitely felt a little bit out of place here. Not just because of the shirt I'm wearing, but because I feel that this place is just inhabited with rich people.
So that's what I'm saying. The whole neighborhood is that vibe. I'm trying to figure out, like, you should have got a house tour. When I get to London, when I get to the neighborhood, I'm asking somebody for a house tour. I ain't even gonna lie. Show me what your crib look like. I'm here to see it all, buddy.
That's even more the case here at the Royal Crescent, which is kind of like a semicircle of very similar buildings. And once again, it's very nice to look at, and there's some people with some very fancy cars here, but other than...
Yeah, buddy, this is wild. I ain't never seen a Rolls Royce. What is this, a Phantom?
And it's very nice to look at, and there's some people...
Yeah, with the gold handles, like double parked outside. He parallel parked this. This gotta be rich. Ain't even no need for a garage.
With some very fancy cars here, but other than taking a few photos and videos, there's not really that much here. I mean, you could go into the Royal Crescent Museum, but to me it felt like just rich people stuff.
How stupid would I look if I go here and ask somebody for a house tour? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the stupidest possible, 1 being, not so stupid. Put it in the comments. I feel somebody would be like, oh yeah.
Besides, there's plenty of other museums here in the north section of Bath. In fact, it's famous for it. Around here, you'll find the biggest collection of museums in this city. The most famous of which, the Assembly Room, which is a very grand building. Unfortunately, they've closed due to filming because there's lots of people wearing these period costumes and lots of TV vans outside. There's the Museum of Bath Art's Work. I didn't bother doing that one.
I was about to ask, like, I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of movies that are filmed here, even in the little water area, the Bath area.
The Museum of Bath Architecture, which unfortunately was closed. I definitely would have done that one. I'm glad the Museum of East Asian Art is at least nearby. That's one I'm definitely looking forward to. And are you kidding me? That's closed as well? If you're a big fan of Jane Austen, the Jane Austen Centre is nearby, and later on...
Who is Jane Austen?
We'll show you where she used to live. But having been disappointed at the lack of museums that are open, I decided to check out this lovely looking church here. Wait a minute. Hang on. Have they converted it to a coffee shop? Seriously? You've converted it?
I feel like churches should not. At least in Liverpool, I think it was Liverpool, they converted a church into a bar. It was crazy. It was a wild situation. I was like, that's tough.
The church into a coffee shop? Oh my goodness. Yes, this church is actually a big giant coffee shop now, where you can pray and order a latte at the same time.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I'll have 1 cappuccino and 1 baptismal, please. Certainly, sir. That'll be £9.60. It's a pretty quirky place, and even if you go in just to take a few photos and videos, it's actually quite a memorable piece of your trip. Speaking of memorable, let me point you out to the most famous bridge here in the city, the Pulteney Bridge.
Pulteney Bridge.
Now, when you're on the bridge, it looks like any ordinary street, but it's only when you go down the Grand Parade that you'll notice, hang on a minute, that was a bridge. Yes, this is one of the few inhabited bridges here in the country.
Oh wow, you can live in there? Or like there's like storefronts?
And it's very similar to the Rialto Bridge in Venice.
Never heard of it. Oh, but here it is. I was just talking about this. Here it is. Venice. It's a like replica of Venice in Vegas and inside of a mall. This is what it looked like.
And it's a good
It might be called Venice Mall, huh?
Drop for if you want to take a boat ride down the River Avon. It's a very picturesque location with the bridge in the background and the Pulteney Weir right here. Hey look, there's an artist capturing it. Has he done a good job? Yes, I think
absolutely. Look real.
He has. That's pretty accurate. Fancy canoeing towards the weir? Yeah, absolutely. If you carry
Looks good exercise. What is that? Pulteney where?
on walking down the Pulteney Bridge, you'll come across Great Pulteney Street.
Looks.
It's a very
Wait, what? Why was that water like that? Was it made just for exercise? It looked dangerous.
French-style looking boulevard. The architecture is great, but admittedly, not much to do. There are, however, some very expensive restaurants on this street, so if money's no object, eat here.
Catch me at McDonald's.
But right at the end is the Holborn Museum, a museum dedicated to the history of Bath, that when I got there, surprise surprise, it had closed for the day. Yay! But the buildings and the grounds are nice. Hey lady, it's closed already. Whilst you're on Great Pulteney Street, you'll come across this unassuming green space. This is the famous Bath Recreation Ground. It's home to Bath Croquet Club, Bath Cricket Ground, and this stadium right here, which you wouldn't think that it's anything special, but this tiny stadium is one of the most iconic in the country. This is the Recreation Ground Stadium, and it's home to Bath Rugby, one of the oldest clubs.
Okay. I ain't never seen a rugby stadium. This is the first one ever.
In world
like I've seen in a video.
Rugby, and one of the most successful here in England. It's amazing to think that one of the world's most famous rugby teams plays out of very basic facilities such as this. In fact, I think all the stands are temporary. Currently, it's the end of the rugby season, but one day I'll come back and actually watch a game here at the Recreation Ground Stadium.
I've never watched a full game of rugby. It's a very interesting sport, but
the absolute best thing to do here in the city of Bath, I've saved this for last. Let's go back into the centre of town, and around the corner from the Roman baths is this place, the Thermae Bath Spa. Now you can't bathe in the Roman baths, but this relatively modern facility, you can. You can experience what it's like to bathe in thermally heated waters directly from underground. And this facility, not only does it have an underground pool, it also has a rooftop pool.
Oh, this smooth. Oh, okay. This kind of like nightlife vibe. I know it's cold in England a lot, but the pool is heated. It's just giving me pneumonia vibes, but nevertheless, I do it.
So you can bathe in thermally heated water overlooking this picturesque city of Bath. Not only does
crazy views
it have two pools, it has a selection of saunas and steam rooms, so if you are stressed, come here and I guarantee you won't be afterwards. Please note that they employ a strict no mobile phone and no camera policy, so if you do want to take photos and videos, they won't let you. It's a little bit on the pricey side, especially
40 price on the new Royal Bath spa package. That's not bad. If you Chicago and Florida, boy, this is 3 times that amount.
Means though you only get 2 hours in this place, but trust me, spend the money. It's worth every single penny.
It's not that bad.
You'll notice in the city of Bath, there's plenty of massive green spaces that you can just chillax in. Such as here, the Parade Gardens, which unfortunately you have to pay to enter. But the best place to take in views of the city of Bath,
I ain't gonna lie, Bath making sure they get every dollar out of anybody coming through here. I don't blame them, honestly.
Is right here in the south side of the city at Alexandra Park. Now unfortunately, it's high on a hill, and you'll need to climb some significant distance in order to reach it. But when you do, the views are simply stunning.
The views from Bath, from up here at Alexandra Park, are pretty stunning. I mean, look at this. You can actually see the entire city from here.
This looks crazy. Even though it's like one color, it still look crazy.
But boy, do they make you work for it.
There's a couple of things I didn't do, such as visit the University of Bath and the American Museum.
Why would they go with American Museum?
I would have loved to have done that, but by the time I finished this video, everything had closed. Overall guys, Bath is a place that you'd want to visit once in your life. Not only to experience the history and the culture, but to bathe in thermal waters, eat tons of sweetbread, all whilst taking in some of the most incredible sights that you'll find here in England. Okay Nin, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you'll need to come here to the city of Bath. It's very well...
Oh, no, we good. I don't need none of that. Thank you, though, for the tour. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm going to say... Hold on. Matter of fact, let me sub up. Let me hit the like button. We like these. I need to save it? Nah, I don't got nowhere yet. All right. Leave a like, comment.